Loser Kari Lake has made her desire to become Donald Trump's VP pick entirely too obvious. And his aides are not having it. And perhaps even Trump is not having it either. This is according to a report in the Daily Beast. The failed Arizona governor candidate, gubernatorial candidate, it's a weird word, has stumbled repeatedly both with MAGA diehards and with Trump himself. They write, here's a couple of quotes from Trump advisors talking to the Daily Beast. She's a shameless, ruthless demagogue who wants power and will do whatever she has to get it, a Trump advisor told the Daily Beast. Another one noted, she's a woman that knows what she wants and knows how to get it. A third called her a spotlight hound. So there's all these advisors around Trump stating the obvious. And again, it is all very obvious. Now, the problem here is that it's not just the aides that are, speaking out and saying things that are obviously true. Where Trump is involved is that, look, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you've covered a lot of Trump stuff. And you know what he's like, basically.
Very reasonable, very rational.
Oh, yes.
Is
he going to abide someone who outshines him as VP?
Exactly.
I don't think he's going to. One of these advisors claimed that in recent months, Trump had become less enthusiastic about Kari Lake, who had been basically living at Mar-a-Lago. I don't know if you were familiar with that story.
I've heard that she is one of those besties that won't stay after the party's over, won't go home. It's like you ask, hey, don't you have your own home to go to?
She's there more than Melania is.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's the role she's ultimately auditioning for, Melania replacement.
Who knows, right? Apparently, though, she's still thinking VP spot. At least according to advisors. Now, these advisors also claim that the former president does not appreciate Lake running around saying that she should be VP. And they said, quote, tells you all you need to know that he did not make her his national spokeswoman. She was an obvious choice. You don't have to be a wizard to figure that one out. So basically, Kari Lake overstaying her welcome. Getting a little bit too, she's pushing a little bit too hard. Maybe needs to ease up a little bit.
Yeah, there's this whole thing about how if you want something, right, you want to try to play a little bit hard to get, make it seem like you're not trying too hard, and she's well beyond that point. And if you are annoying Trump, one of the most insufferable hogs in human history, to annoy him, that's got to say something about you, right? Like, lady, go home. What are you doing? Why are you couch surfing at Mar-a-Lago? What do you have a hobby? Don't you have children? What are you doing? Go home.
He appreciates the money, obviously, and also one thing that she's got going for her is the fact that Donald Trump sees in her a simpatico. And the reason that I say that is because Donald Trump thinks he's been cheated in the election, which he wasn't. And Kari Lake still thinks that she was cheated in her election, which again is not true. And so they have that in common. And not only that, but she, kisses so much ass and defends him very, very well on TV, apparently, according to him. And so that's pretty much the only reason I think that she is allowed to hang around.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know if, let me just ask you this then. Do you see a Trump Lake 2024?
I don't. I think that the most flamboyant, bombastic person that he would realistically consider is Marjorie Taylor Greene. But I absolutely agree with your theory that Trump's not going to want to have somebody that outshines him, right? Like he wants to make it clear he is Beyonce, and whoever he chooses is Michelle Williams, right? And we love Michelle Williams, but like we want to make sure that he's the star, right? He's front and center. And so picking like another boring politician who's just going to go along to get along and not question him is what he wants. So yeah, I couldn't see him choosing her. That being said, though, I could see her getting a position in his administration. I don't know what he would give her, but he'd give her something, right? Because look at the people. Look at the people who he chose. But like, I could see her having some role,
Mike,
the best ever, right? Who he then turned around and called, idiots and stuff. But I could see her having a role. But I mean, she really, she hasn't even won, her election, right? You lost a high profile race, one of the most high profile gubernatorial races in 2022. That loser energy, Trump doesn't want it. And she can say that, no, I actually was robbed and I won. But, that's not going to Trump. He's not going to accept that about anyone but himself. Maybe he'll say, oh, yeah, she was cheated. But ultimately, he's the one who has this perfect winning streak. He's the one who was ultimately treated. He's the ultimate victim. And so she's stepping on his toes a little bit. And I don't think that she realizes it because she's too she lacks so much self-awareness that she can't see how even Trump might find her insufferable.
Oh, that's an interesting perspective. I like that. So now I want to give a couple of quotes here. This is from a spokesperson for Lake, and you're going to love this because it's more Republican infighting. She chalked up the drama to, quote, pathetic attempts from Team DeSantis to divide Trump from his biggest supporters. MAGA world is more united than ever and ready to win big in 2024. So now throwing shade at the DeSantis camp, or Puddin' or Meatball Ron, whatever you want to call him at this point.
Yeah, I like that. I like that she's taking shots at DeSantis. I want her to keep doing that. I want the infighting to continue. Absolutely, rip each other apart. I hope it gets super duper ugly. I've got the popcorn ready. I'm ready.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
Yes, please.
Now, I've got one more person that's not happy with the report, and that is AZ Central's Kari Lake critic, Lori Roberts. So here's what she had to say. Quote, Arizona put you on the political map, drawing thousands of your faithful followers to one of your 2015 early rallies, just a few weeks after you announced you were running for president. Now it's time to return the favor and take Kari Lake. The alternative is that Lake stays here and runs for the U.S. Senate, forcing Arizonans to endure another 16 months of perhaps the most determined, red delusional candidate this state has ever seen. Okay, more like 26 months in the event that there's another stolen election. Read, she loses. I love the dripping sarcasm here. Fantastic.
I'm sorry, Lori, don't try to pawn her off on the rest of us. She is Arizona's problem. Okay, I don't appreciate that at all. Okay.
Oh, more fighting. Gotta love it. Look, ultimately, I think I'll come to the same conclusion. Kari Lake probably going to end up getting the Chris Christie treatment. You remember, Chris Christie was eyeing that VP spot. He was really gunning for it. He didn't get it. We did not have a Vice President Christie.
Didn't even get AG.
Instead, he got COVID. And emasculated.
Yeah.
There was also that.
So he didn't leave empty-handed, right?
The door prize.
Yeah,
The worst door prize imaginable.